We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready.
Get ready. Y'all get ready.
Yes, you get ready.
Because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, so I want to come on here and talk about the whole Monique situation, honey. I thought I would never have to address Monique again, but obviously I have to because y'all keep asking me to talk about it. So if you guys don't know, or I assume y'all do know, Monique is literally going on this damn Netflix hobo tour, okay? She's gone from station to station, news outlet to news outlet, radio outlet to radio outlet. Whoever will give her a platform, she's going on this damn Netflix hobo journey, honey. Got the little bag. You know how them hobos got them little bags and shit. They put over their shoulder. Okay, she's on one of those tours. So back on February 15th, she went to a LA radio station, and her and the radio host Sana G, they got into it. She kind of called her out because she felt like Sana G was not showing her a lot of respect. And, and I did feel like Sana G was kind of being distant and cold towards Monique. She kind of checked her on that. Y'all can go ahead and listen to this real quick.
Mm-hmm. So we have to take a stand and say, no, we're going to talk loudly, and we're going to get it on this one. So when I walk into here, son, and you don't even introduce yourself. See, that's what we deal with in a place called Hollywood, because oftentimes I sit behind this position and I don't have to do that. That's why, if you notice, I had to direct my conversation somewhere else till your energy got right, till you then decided to say, okay, now let me introduce myself, because I can't talk to someone that just says, you ready, let's go. That's why I have to say, we got to learn how to
but you also weren't even making eye contact with me the whole first part of the interview.
I couldn't, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because we walked in, you didn't even address us, sis.
Well, I was busy wrapping up something else with the
I
TV
understand,
station,
my
so I
love.
apologize
but
for
when
that.
it's your show, because I've had those, I'm sure you know, we always make sure that we welcome in our guests, because without our guests, we don't have a show.
Okay.
So even when I'm at my busiest and people walk into my place, I have to stop and say, how you doing, baby? I'm Monique. And
I did say hello. I just didn't say my name.
Okay, sweetness. So with Netflix.
So then after that, she ended up on The View, and then her and Whoopi, they didn't get into it, but they kind of had some words. Monique was saying something, and then Whoopi interrupted and told her basically, no, this is what it is. So I want y'all to go ahead and check this exchange out.
Don't go up to the hotel room. See, when I think about those women that said...
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Because contractually,
yes,
when you make a movie, regardless of who you sign the deal with,
yes,
your job is to go and promote said movie.
Yes.
No, don't applaud. So when they wanted you to come, and we've had this conversation, and I said, if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was expected.
And when we did have that conversation, and what I said to you, my sweet sister, I said, Whoopi, at what point do we stop saying the next time? Because what was expected.
But
I want to answer it, though.
Yeah.
I want to answer when you say
you
contractual.
You wanted to get paid for the publicity?
Please let me answer. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Because if I had done something wrong contractually, they would have sued me. The reason why no one could do anything to me contractually, because they found out I did nothing wrong contractually. So when they asked me to come overseas to promote the film, when I said, guys, I'm spending time with my family, I'm going to pass. Because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in.
Okay, we have to go.
Yeah. Shoot.
All right, so you guys just saw her and Whoopi talking about this situation. But the situation that has gone viral, honey, is her and Charlamagne the God, okay? So first, let me go ahead and say this. I have no dog in this fight. Y'all know when Charlamagne the God has been wrong, I have been one of the few YouTubers to call his ass out and, hold him to task for the things that he was saying, like the whole situation with Tommy Loren and then how him and DJ Envy played Amara La Negra. I've called him out. This situation was just so uncomfortable watching this play out, and I can't really use no Breakfast Club clips because iHeartRadio just keeps flagging my shit. So, if y'all haven't watched the video, y'all can go watch it. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of read their exchange. So basically, it starts off with Monique. I felt like she was being very, very condescending and disrespectful to Charlamagne. First of all, his name, his personality is Charlamagne. I didn't even know his first name was Leonard, and then she initially called him Leonard. And then he was like, no, my name is Leonard. And then she assumed that he was trying to be fancy. And Angelique was like, no, that's his real government name, Leonard. So she kept trying to call him Leonard, almost to be kind of condescending and disrespectful. I just wasn't feeling that. Why not call him Charlemagne? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, if that's the name he goes by, that's the personality he's known by. I don't want to know, nor do I give a shit that his real name is Leonard. So I don't know why the hell she kept calling him that. But she was kind of calling him that to kind of put him in his place, as if she was schooling him, as if he was her child. She came off like an overbearing mother hen, okay? Let me just keep it all the way 100. So there was something that she said. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you here. So Monique says, this is why, again, Leonard, you have to be careful with your words, because you called your sister Donkey of the Day, but you didn't do your research. And now as we sit here, you're almost having to backtrack your words. Then Charlemagne the God says, I'm not backtracking anything. And then Monique says, you poured this poison into the community without fully doing your research. When you asked the question, did you counteroffer? We put the information out there. We did, and they said that there's no negotiation, take it or leave it. Then at that point, her husband Sydney jumps in, her husband/manager, aka Daddy. He jumps in, and this is what Sydney has to say. So Sydney says, we didn't actually counteroffer. What we said in the midst of our conversation was $500,000 was a strong enough offer. They were going to go back and reflect on what we wanted to discuss. So that was like the main little tiff that they had. What I don't like about this whole interview, this whole situation, I see a lot of hypocrisy, okay? Let's keep it all the way real. First of all, Charlemagne's Donkey of the Day, he does this with everyone, okay? Monique is not beyond reproach. Nobody is. These are Charlemagne the God's opinions. Do you have to agree with them? No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? I come out here and I spew my opinion all damn day. Do you have to agree with me? No, you don't, okay? So it's like, why is she getting so mad about his opinion? She's demanding that Charlemagne tell her, why did you give me Donkey of the Day? And Charlemagne was basically explaining to her, and she kept cutting him off. Charlemagne was asking her questions. She was just talking about it in a roundabout way, talking in circles, never fully answering the questions that he was asking, okay? What I find funny is that she's so upset by being called Donkey of the Day, and she's trying to turn this into a whole black man versus black woman thing, and you're kind of cooning. These are like things that she was insinuating while she was at the Breakfast Club, okay? Me, I feel like him calling her Donkey of the Day was far less disrespectful than how Monique carried herself on stage. When she went in on Oprah, Lee Daniels, and Tyler Perry, what did she say? She went off on them and basically told them to suck her dick if she had one, okay?
Thank you, Miss Oprah Winfrey. No, baby, I wasn't blackballed. I was fucked up by some niggas who had no balls. It would kill me not to say the real shit. You are not paying me equally. You are not treating me fairly. So y'all can suck my dick if I had one.
I think the way that she did that was way more disrespectful than what Charlemagne the God says. So to me, I feel like, you know what, Monique? It seems like you can dish it, but then you can't take critiques about you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like I always tell people, we're all entitled to our opinion. And especially when you put yourself out in the public eye, you got to be able to take the shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Charlemagne. He states his opinion. If people aren't feeling it, he has to be able to take it. I sit up here all day, sip my motherfucking tea, give my opinion. I can't then get in my feelings when somebody makes an I hate Lovelyti video. Who gives a fuck, bitch? I'm still gonna keep sipping my tea and spewing my motherfucking opinion. You're not gonna change shit, you dig? So that's my thing. I'm not understanding Monique getting so mad about him giving her Donkey of the Day. Who gives a shit? That's his opinion, you know what I'm saying? He didn't spew poison. He was basically speaking for a lot of people who agreed with him. More people agreed with Charlemagne the God than they did your approach, okay? Monique is right. Yes, there's pay inequality. I talked about this. If you guys have not watched my Monique breakdown, I talked about this. You know what I'm saying? There's pay inequality. Pay inequality has been here, but I'm not shedding no tattooed tears for no celebrity. I'm just not. Not when I have friends, family members, and people I know in my personal life who done spent all this time going to school trying to get degrees. First, we're underqualified, okay? Then we go to school, we spend the money, the tuition, we get into debt, student loan, and everything else. Then we come and try and get those same jobs. Now we're overqualified. You know what I mean? There's people I know with master's degrees working customer service, making $15 an hour. There's people who are starting entry-level IT jobs. They're lucky if they're making $18, $19 an hour. And they have to work their way up to that $25, $30 mark. So yes, pay inequality happens to us all. But what I find funny is that until it happened to Monique, Monique didn't say anything. And you notice Viola Davis has now been talking about pay inequality. And you notice nobody's telling Viola Davis, go sit down somewhere. People are actually respecting the way that Viola Davis is talking about it. She's not throwing other black people under the bus. She's not blasting private conversations. She's speaking of her experience, and she's speaking on it in a classy way, and she's comparing herself to other people in her league. Monique is trying to compare herself to other comedians, other actresses. Like, her whole argument is just kind of all over the place. At the end of the day, this is Netflix money, and you can't tell them what they have to invest in. Monique lost nothing from this deal. Like, let's keep it real. It's not like they gave her the money then took it back. She refused. So at that point in time, when she refused something, when you're saying, well, that's too low, then you go elsewhere. Go to Hulu, create your own production. Matter of fact, Martin Lawrence just announced that he's putting together a whole new tour. It's called the Lit AF Tour, okay? And when I watched the promo, I was sitting there, honey, I had my teacup in hand, like, I know Monique gonna pop up, honey. You know, she's the most decorated comedian. You know, I know her comedian brothers and sisters gonna have her back. Honey, I sat there and sipped my tea, and I didn't see Monique in the damn promo, okay? Y'all go ahead and check this shit out. All right, so y'all just saw Martin Lawrence's promo. Y'all see all them comedians. Some of them are newer comedians. Some of them are from back in the day. Adele Givens is going to be there. Bruce. And funny enough, Monique is not there. Why were you not trying to network with Martin and, you know, be a part of that? It's like, I'm just starting to see that at this point, it has to be Monique. Even other comedians are not reaching out to her. Like, this would have been something perfect for us to see what Monique has in 2018, what Monique is up to. But it's like she's putting more energy into this damn Netflix hobo tour than she is into her comedy. If she put the same energy into her comedy and reintroducing herself to this new generation of young people, if she put the same amount of work into that as she is going from news station to news station, platform to platform, you know, going from the Queen's Court to the Breakfast Club, going from here to there, she would have so much material right now. You know, I just wasn't feeling the whole interview. I just felt the vibe was off. Can Charlamagne the God be off the chain sometimes? Has he been accused of cooning and clowning too much? Yes, he has. But let's keep it real, Monique. Let's not act like your role in Precious was, you know, some type of Rosa Parks role. She's calling out Charlamagne and insinuating that he's cooning and, you know, he's throwing black women under the bus and all this other stuff. Okay, I get that. But my thing is this, like, to me, it comes off as hypocritical. Like, let's not act like Monique has been known for playing these stellar, you know, astute roles, okay? Monique did the same so-called cooning and clowning and soul playing, you know what I'm saying? So it was okay for her to do that to get a check way back then. And then when she played the role of Precious, that role has now been basically attached to single mothers. She played one of the worst single mothers in history. But I'm just keeping it real. What stellar roles has she played that has made the black community just look outstanding? Like, let's keep it all the way 100. But yet and still, she wants to talk about how Charlamagne the God is, you know, cooning and he's not having black women's backs. But the role of Precious did nothing for black women either. Like, I want Monique to win. Like I said, if she comes to Minneapolis, if she comes here to do comedy, I will support her because I grew up on Monique. You know what I'm saying? I love Monique. And I understand where she's coming from, but you can't force nobody's hand. If nobody wants to give you $3 million for your comedy special, then you need to create your own platform. This hobo tour is just starting to be a bit much, and it's leaving a really bad taste in people's mouths, okay? You know, but for her to say something like, well, would you give your mother and your grandmother donkey of the day? And it's like, no. And then again, she started trying to throw Will Packard under the bus, and she was trying to compare Will Packard to Harvey Weinstein. And that's when Charlamagne stepped in and was like, no, nah, you can't do that. You're not going to attach his name to a sexual assault and rape and everything else. That's not fair. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she's so busy throwing other black people under the bus. So in closing, like I said, you know, I understand where Monique is coming from. And I even agree with her checking Sanan G, because Sanan G came off as rude on the radio interview. She was texting. She was basically not giving Monique, who was her guest, her undivided attention. So I understood why Monique kind of checked her there. But this interview with Charlamagne the God and the entire Breakfast Club, I just wasn't feeling it. I don't feel like she showed herself in the best light. You know, at the end of the day, they're both adults. Charlamagne is not her child and she's not his mother. And I think that he held his composure pretty well and he showed her, you know, quite a bit of respect. You know, a lesser person probably would have flipped out on her. You know, everything was yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And the way she kept coming at him in that kind of sunny manner, it turned a lot of people off. I read a lot of the comments and what people were saying on social media. People who initially may have had her back were really turned off by that Breakfast Club interview. Monique needs to realize that if she wants to be the face of pay inequality, then you need to go about it in an tactful way. Now, earlier today, Chance the Rapper said that he stood with Monique, and that's fine. You know, you guys are free to stand with Monique or not stand with Monique, but I don't like how this is causing like a whole divide, how if you're not, you know, on Team Monique, you're a coon, you're a bedwench, and I don't think it should ever get to that point. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion, everybody's entitled to who they want to support and who they want to get behind. To me, I can respect the way Viola Davis is going about it a lot more than the way that Monique has been going about it. At this point in time, she's beating a dead horse. I would love for her to basically film her own comedy special and then sell it to Hulu, sell it to Amazon Prime. There are other places that she can go to and possibly sell her comedy. But the way that she's going about this, she may be closing the door on her career indefinitely. So anyways, y'all, that's just my simple opinion. I'm sure her fans will come to drag me and let me know I'm everything but a child of God. But it is what it is. I just have to be honest about what I saw on that Breakfast Club interview. And that Breakfast Club interview, the way she was acting, she was just doing a bit too much. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.